Session. This is an information session about studying abroad with the Brown in Paris program, which is located in Paris, France. My name is Erin Reeser. I'm the director of that program. I will be joined today by one of the peer advisors in study abroad advising, Sebastian Adriano. I'm incapable of saying his name in English, who was with us last year as a student in Paris and will speak to you at the end of the session about his own personal experience. And I'm sure he'd be more than willing to answer questions. So we will get started. Today, we're just going to do a very brief overview of the program highlights and several program elements that often come up when students come to us with questions. So we'll be talking about what life in Paris is like, who works at the Brown in Paris program, who our partner institutions are, the academics, of course, activities and housing, and then Sebastian will cover his student experience at the end. So without further ado, we can get started. This session is in English, but Brown in Paris is actually an immersion program. So it's a direct enrollment program for motivated students who have completed French 600 or the equivalent with a B or better. Indeed, Brown in Paris is open to students who are visiting, so not currently enrolled at Brown, and that is why we say the equivalent of French 600 with a B or better. So we'll talk about that more in just a minute when we touch on academics. We have a couple of different partner institutions, and our students are enrolled directly at those partner institutions. And they also take an in-house course that we refer to as our pro seminar, which is a course that's listed at Brown in the Department of French and Francophone Studies. Paris is one of the number one study abroad destinations in the world. And as such, there are many, many, many institutions and providers who are present in Paris. It's a very traditional destination, but we like to think of it as a modern and diverse destination as well. And part of the overall theme of our program is introducing students to that unexpected and more contemporary side to French and Parisian culture. We touch on contemporary French and European issues in all areas, and that is really the main purpose of our pro seminar, which we have named Sociologies, so with an S, Sociologies of Paris. So I'll talk about that in just a minute. Our center is located in the Bastille neighborhood, which is on the eastern side of Paris, in a young and vibrant area that is I would say halfway between kind of more the common tourist destinations and then a little bit off the beaten path. It's in the heart of what most people would consider to be the youth-centric area of the city. We have two full-time staff members, myself and our program coordinator, who takes care of student life, housing, health and safety, activities, etc. And we also have an instructor for our pro seminar who is an adjunct faculty member in the French and Francophone Studies Department at Brown, but who is a native speaker of French and who lives and works in Paris and teaches in various other institutions alongside her teaching duties at our program. Our program center has a classroom space, which you can see here in the photo. It's located in a lovely 200-year-old cobblestone passageway, which we all love, even though it's a little bit hot in the summer and a little bit cold in the winter with all of those old stone walls and thin windows, but we still love it. We also have administrative space, office space, a small kitchenette, and bathrooms, of course, for students to use when they need to. So a little bit about our academics. Our partner institutions are currently Let's One, which is the humanities and humanities and social sciences section of the Sorbonne University. And Université de Paris 8, which is a younger university. So we've got one of the oldest universities in the world, created in the 12th century, and then one of the youngest French universities, created in the aftermath of the May 1968 uprising, which covers really all areas of study. They have everything from the humanities through performing arts, fine arts, and math, computer science, etc. So it's really quite vast. We also work with several specialty schools, including l'École spéciale d'architecture for architecture concentrators, and INALCO for any students who might need to take specialized languages. We've had students take Mandarin Chinese there. We've had students take Arabic and Vietnamese and even Sanskrit. So they offer a wealth of different sorts of languages. All of the coursework is in French. So the pro seminar and also all courses at the local universities. In order to receive credit on the program and to be able to bring it back to Brown, you must complete your coursework in French. And then you have a list of the different subjects that I already touched on. We also have the possibility of life sciences through our Sorbonne partners at Sciences Sorbonne for students who are enrolled at Lettres Sorbonne. Students who come to the program must choose between Lettres Sorbonne and Université de Paris 8, but we have a wide range of Zoom sessions pre-departure to assist you in choosing the university partner that is the best for you, and then also, of course, to help you choose your coursework. As I said before, students who are eligible to apply for the program will be students who have completed the equivalent of French 600 with a B or better prior to their semester abroad. We do require students to take at least one French course the year before studying on our program, and we strongly encourage students to take a semester of French the semester immediately preceding their experience in France. The program academics include, as I mentioned before, the mandatory pro seminar for students who enroll with us for the entire year. And we do have a handful of annual students every year. They take the mandatory pro seminar in the first semester during the fall, and then they take a full slate, a full schedule of university courses in the spring. That mandatory pro seminar, Sociologie de Paris, Sociologies of Paris, is worth 1 Brown credit, and it's listed through the French and Francophone department as 907 OB. You must take the equivalent of 3 additional Brown credits at your partner institution for a full slate of 4 credits plus the pro seminar, 4 credits including the pro seminar part, sorry. Through our office and through the program, tutoring is available. We have 2 sorts of tutors. We have language tutors who are available to reread your work done in French for the university classes, to check it for grammar errors, spelling errors, formatting, any methodology issues, etc. And then we also make available to our students upon request tutoring in specific disciplines. So if you find yourself struggling in a course, not understanding the professor, or just wanting to make sure that you have correctly understood the material, you contact me and we will find someone in our vast network of professors that are available to us to work with you on a weekly basis to make sure that you're following the material. So we follow students very closely through their academic journey from the moment they apply to the program all the way through when they receive their grades after coming back to campus. A little bit about our core course. So our pro-seminar course, Sociologie de Paris. It is taught by a local French sociologist who also teaches sociology in local universities. It starts with a 10-day intensive orientation period as soon as you arrive in Paris, and then is followed with weekly class sessions. So the course meets in the French style for 3 hours once a week, and 50% of these meetings take place in our classroom. Some of them involve guest lecturers, some of them involve film screenings, class discussions, readings. There are a few books and articles that the students read together. And the other 50% of those class periods are taken up with what we call our urban hikes, balade urbaine. And the instructor or a guest speaker will take the group out to a different neighborhood in Paris and give them a social tour of that neighborhood. So a walk that is also a course at the same time. So we do recommend that students bring good walking shoes. And in this way, students get to really discover different parts of Paris, and particularly parts of Paris that they might not have had the opportunity to see otherwise. So we're aware that many students have already visited Paris as tourists, whether with their families or with their friends, or perhaps even on an exchange in high school or a summer program. And we feel that what makes Brown in Paris quite different than these experiences is that we are taking out students and introducing them to parts of Paris that visitors, short-term visitors, might not ever see, and then delving into what makes those parts of Paris special. As I said, we have guest speakers. We frequently take students to exhibits. Today, for example, our pro-seminar group was at the Museum of Immigration here in Paris, a museum that has a very rich collection and that we're extremely excited to introduce students to every semester. As part of the Sociology of Paris course, students must partake in what we call our community engagement. So each student chooses a different activity. It can be volunteering, it can be participation in a musical group, it can be a team sport organized through their university partner, it can be a university club or organization that they are a member of during their time in Paris. They must do this activity for minimum 2 hours per week throughout the duration of their semester, and it counts towards their participation grade in the pro seminar. And this is something that we feel really, really connects the students to life in Paris and to Parisians, because unfortunately it is possible to come to Paris and only speak English and only stay within the Anglophone community, and that is not the mission of Brown in Paris. The semester is capped off at the end with a research project. Every student chooses his or her own subject. There can be an artistic or creative theme or portion of the project. Some students in the past have done blogs, some students have done websites, some students have written poetry, some students have done painting, and then some students choose to just do a straightforward classic research project. The one element, the required element, is that it must be a subject that you need to be in Paris to research and to write about. And if you choose to do a creative portion, then the instructor will guide you through also including academic research to go along with and support your creative vision. As part of the Sociologie de Paris Pro Seminar. We have a regional seminar that is 3 days and 2 nights. That regional seminar is currently in the Auvergne region of France, which is in the middle of France in the volcanic region. As you can see it here in the photo. It involves outdoor activities. So we take a couple of hikes. It involves cooking and eating regional cuisine, visiting local industries. You can see here that we visit a cheese farm in the winter, and usually in the fall we visit a fresh water source that is used in France for bottled water. And we feel it's very important to do this at the beginning of the semester because A, it's a region that students don't visit otherwise, and B, Paris is not France. It's just one part of France. So we do feel it's quite important that before the semester kicks off, students get to experience that other side of French culture. And it really is a highlight of the semester for the vast majority of the students. We enjoy spending the 3 days getting to know each other quite well. It's usually the first weekend or second weekend of the semester before courses start at the universities. And we are able to connect with each other outside of the classroom, outside of meetings. We're walking together, we're cooking together and eating together. And it is, yes, generally a highlight. Other than the regional seminar, we also offer several activities throughout the semester. These activities are included in the pro seminar in a way that allows students to choose which activities they would like to participate in, but it also allows them to suggest activities. Some of the activities recur every single semester. They're kind of the highlights. Students always enjoy the cooking courses, the wine workshops, museum exhibits that we take them to quite a bit. We always have a end of the semester meal together. And then we have a few recurring artistic performances that we take students to. But something that we really enjoy is when students suggest activities. So while we have pre-programmed a few things throughout the semester, we encourage students to come to us with their own suggestions or their own requests. For example, during the fall, one of our students auditioned for and was accepted into one of the big choirs here in Paris and sang in a few very prestigious concerts. And we were able, at the request of other students, to offer them seats to see some of these concerts. So that changes every semester. And that's the beauty of allowing students to suggest and request different activities. It allows us to remain flexible, and every semester and every cohort is truly unique. A word about housing, because I know that's always something that is very important to students if they're curious about. All of our students are placed in student residence halls throughout the city of Paris. We work with one group of residence halls that has addresses in several different neighborhoods in the city, and students are placed in general in small groups. There can be between 1 and 5 students of the program at one particular address. Every room is a single room with a private bathroom, so toilet, sink, and shower, or it's a suite where the suite mates share a shower and a full kitchen. Some of the facilities, some of the residence halls have cafeterias. They all have cooking facilities. And as I mentioned, sometimes it's a suite and there's a full kitchen within the room or the suite situation. These housing halls, these residence halls offer all sorts of activities and workshops there for their other residents. And we love this setup because it allows our students to meet with other young Parisians. Often The other residents in these halls are coming from different areas and different regions of France and also from different countries. It's a very international French mix of people coming to Paris to study. And it allows students not only to meet lots of different people, but also practice their French in real life situations. I would say that the hallmark of our program is really setting up opportunities for that full immersion experience where students are they're not only speaking French and listening to French in the classroom, but they're also doing it while they're traveling with us, while we're eating out at restaurants together, in their housing situation, in their activities, because they're doing the community engagement where they're obligated to put themselves in a situation where they're going to be speaking French all the time. It is a true immersion program. I don't know if Sebastian has made it yet, but perhaps I'll let him jump in here. I can't tell.
I don't think
He
he's
might,
here yet, Erin. So I think you might have to go. I'll send him a quick note.
he might. Okay. I'll talk just briefly until he joins us about his experience. I don't want to take up too much time because I want him to be able to chat about that and then to answer questions. But you have here a picture of, and I think this is very this speaks a lot to the atmosphere of the program. It's a picture of a part of Sebastian's cohort from last fall 23, with our pro seminar instructor, Carolina Beau. So they did become quite close. We spend a lot of time together inside and outside of the classroom. And it's very, it's a situation that lends itself to really having the time to get to know one another and also having those situations where you're talking about all sorts of different topics, all sorts of different current events, things that are going on in France, in Paris, and students really develop a relationship with the instructor that allows them to delve into those issues and ask important questions and exchange, for example, ideas for their research project with each other and with the instructor. And that really is so important. And we feel that it makes the program extremely rich. I am going to just go ahead and go and continue on with the slides, and then I'll let Sebastian jump in at the end when he gets to us. Sorry. So just a word logistically about the application deadlines. Our application deadline for the full year, for the next full year and the fall is coming up very quickly. Although my colleagues will say if that is an error. I believe March 1st is the hard deadline.
That is correct, Erin.
Thank
But
you.
we're
Okay.
getting a lot of applications coming in before the February 1st early deadline. So we're hoping to get more students come in soon.
Thank you, Adeline. So February 1st, early deadline, and March 1st for the hard deadline. And that's for the full academic year or for next semester, fall 2025. For spring 2026, the application deadline will be somewhere in mid-September. We haven't said it quite yet. And you have instructions and the link to apply. And this PowerPoint will be available to anyone who attended the session today and also will be on our website after this. Our dates are in general early September, although I can tell you that in the upcoming fall, we're actually starting, the arrival day is the very last few days of August, so right before September, and it goes till mid-December. And then the spring semester starts early January and goes to mid to late May, depending on the academic university year here in Paris. For online applications, you have the VIA TRM portal, and you've got the link there and the instructions to find us on VIA TRM. If you have any questions about applying, you should, of course, reach out to Study Abroad at Brown, and they can answer all of your questions. For visiting students, if any visiting students are viewing this session, there are instructions here for you to apply. And we do get visiting students in the program, and we love visiting students because it makes the experience all the more richer. If you're interested in studying abroad with Brown in Paris, I urge you to reach out to a study abroad advisor within the Office of Study Abroad Advising. You can also visit our website and the Study Abroad website as well. And we have a very active Instagram account that you're welcome to follow that will give you a really good idea and a sense of what we do in the program, particularly currently, since we're just now finishing our orientation period today. You'll see pictures from our trip to Auvergne without the snow. This was a snowy year that you see here on the screen, but we had fun anyway, even though we couldn't snowshoe. And the things that the students have been up to since their arrival in Paris 2 weeks ago. So with that, I don't know if we ever managed to find Sebastian. No? Okay. I think perhaps we'll stop the recording, Ivana, and I'll open it for questions. And then if Sebastian joins us, he can speak to his experience in a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I'll go ahead and stop the recording.